Everyone was focused on the bride and groom. No one noticed the man sitting alone in the very back until he stood up. The wedding was perfect. Flowers were everywhere. Laughter filled the air. Music floated through the hall like a sweet dream. The groom stood tall and proud. The bride looked radiant, happier than ever. But in the last row, there was a man no one talked to. He wore a plain suit, and his eyes looked tired. His hands were folded in his lap as if he didn't want to be seen, like he was trying to blend into the shadows. Most people just assumed he was another distant relative or a plus one they didn't know. Just another guest. That is, until the officiant asked the classic question, "Is there anyone here who would like to say a word?" A heavy silence fell over the room. Then, a chair scraped against the floor. The man stood up. The bride froze. Her perfect smile melted away, replaced by a look of shock, because she recognized him. "Please," he said gently, but his voice trembled just a little. "I won't take long." A wave of discomfort washed over the guests. People started whispering. What was going on? "I'm not here to ruin anything," he continued, his voice growing a little stronger. "I just need to say one thing for myself." He looked directly at the bride, and for a moment, it was like they were the only two people in the room. "I was the man who loved you when no one else did. When you had nothing. When you were so scared of the future, you could barely breathe." You could hear gasps ripple through the crowd. The groom's jaw clenched, his knuckles turning white. "I didn't have any money back then," the man said, a sad smile on his face. "But I gave you my loyalty. I gave you my patience. I gave you my entire heart." He paused, letting the words hang in the air. "And one day, you told me love wasn't enough." The bride's eyes filled with tears, her perfect makeup starting to run. "I came today not to ask for you back," he said softly, his tone filled with a quiet strength, "but to let you know, I survived losing you." The silence in the room was absolute. You could have heard a pin drop. "I learned that sometimes," he continued, his voice now steady and clear. "The person who walks away isn't the prize. The person who learns to heal is." He then turned his gaze to the groom and gave a respectful nod. "I wish you peace," he said. And with that, he turned and walked out of the hall. No anger, no drama, just quiet dignity. The music started up again, but it never quite sounded the same. The laughter felt a little forced, because everyone in that room learned a powerful lesson that day. Not everyone who loses you is losing in life. Some losses are lessons we need to learn, and some endings are actually a form of protection. If this story touched you, I want you to just pause for a moment. Think about the people who have loved you quietly, without needing anything in return. And think about the ones who walked away in silence. Not because they were weak, but because they were strong enough to know when to let go. Sometimes